What were we thinking saying we wanted to grow to $100 million a year? Hey there, it's Eric J. Olson. I wonder this often myself. What were we thinking saying that we wanted to grow to $100 million a year in revenue? It seems like such a bold, audacious goal that it's almost ridiculous to say it. Let me tell you the story about how this came about. This all happened about 3 years ago when me and Kevin and Jake were in a learning session, and the moderator asked us, well, first of all, the moderator reminded us and showed us a couple of examples about how most people will overestimate what they can accomplish in 1 year, but dramatically underestimate what they can accomplish in 10 years because they think linearly and they shouldn't. Success stacks upon itself. It's like interest building up in your savings account. It starts slowly at first, but then interest builds on top of interest. It compounds. It's the same with success. Success compounds upon itself. So if you can accomplish a certain amount of success in a year, how much more can you do in 10 years? And don't just think the same amount every single year. You're going to have more and more and more success as time goes on. So with that lesson in mind, he said, what are you guys going to accomplish in 10 years? What's the one thing that you're going to do where you know that you've achieved success in 10 years timeline? So we broke up into small groups, and me, Kevin, and Jake went off into the corner, and we started talking about, one day we're going to have 20 offices. And then after we said it and we kind of thought through, we're like, well, but why is that successful? Why is having a lot of offices successful? We talked about people. We're going to have, I don't know, pick a number, 1,000 people. We're going to have 1,000 people working for us. And then we're like, well, yeah, but that's maybe we could do just as much revenue or do a better job with fewer people, with fewer offices. Also, with metrics like that, we can kind of cheat the system if we really want to. Right now, I could probably have 15 offices, and I want to put that in quotes, air quotes, 15 offices. And you see companies do this kind of stuff all the time. They have an employee who works remotely in a different city, a different state, and they say they have an office there. It's a home office. It's not an office. There's a big difference. I don't want to play games like that. I don't want to hire a whole bunch of interns, an army of 500 interns, and say, oh, we reached our goal of 1,000 people now. That's ludicrous. The only thing that really matters when it comes to those kinds of company growth metrics, really, I said the only thing. That's not true. But a big metric is revenue. And it's really hard to fake revenue. So we very quickly said, you know what, we want to target a revenue amount. How much? And at the time we were doing like just over $1 million a year in revenue. And so we were thinking, well, okay, if we grow at a certain percentage every year, we started to do some really rough math. And it came out to, I don't know, like $40 million in 10 years. And I said, like, that's cool. Like, that would be awesome. No doubt. But what I really want is $100 million. Like, that's just such a big number. It's so ridiculous to even think about going after that. We'd have to change our mindset. It just won't happen overnight, and it won't happen just organically, just because we're going to have to really work at it. And the moment that I said it, Kevin and Jake were like, hell yeah, let's do it, man. And so we decided then that we were going to do it. But then a couple of days later, we had another discussion. Like, no, like for real, I want to do this. I want to get to $100 million. What's it really going to take? I don't want to just position and say we're going to do it, and then we don't really try. Like, we're going to have to like, what are we going to do? Like, how are we going to pull this off? And so we started to actually plan this out, and we talk about it a lot. We know that we're a company that wants to grow. We want to grow big, and the reason we want to grow big is not just for the money. Yeah, the money would be nice, no doubt about it. I want to create opportunity here, so much opportunity within Array Digital that every single person that works here now and every person that will work here, their dreams can fit within Array Digital. It's got to be such a big monumental task and achievement that everybody can have success here. That's really the goal. We want to build opportunity by creating a $100 million a year national powerhouse in digital marketing. That's the goal. That's really the goal. So it took a little bit to get to that. There was a spark of inspiration, and then a lot of conversation about why $100 million, what that means to everybody. But that's where we're at now. When it came time to start a podcast, we actually started it as a different name, and then we decided to rename it to Journey to $100 million because that was our passion. So we talk about growing businesses. So that is a story about how we got to be the people who talk about journey to $100 million. The year will be 2030 by the time we hit it. That's our goal. You know what? That's 9 years away, but I feel like we're running out of time already. There's a lot of work to do.